Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained, guilty, or confused without knowing why? Like your energy was taken from you, and somehow you were the one apologizing? That's not just a bad interaction. That's emotional manipulation. But here's the twist: most of the time, it doesn't look like abuse. It looks like love. It looks like help. It looks like family. Emotional manipulation doesn't need to shout. It whispers. It plays the long game. And if you don't recognize it, you'll think the problem is you. This video isn't just about spotting manipulation from others. It's about defending your mind from the mental traps that keep you stuck. Because manipulation isn't just something done to us, it's something we unconsciously allow. Emotional manipulation isn't always obvious. It's not always gaslighting or threats. Sometimes it sounds like, after everything I've done for you, I just want what's best for you. You're too sensitive. You owe me. Sound familiar? These are emotional landmines. You step on one, and suddenly you're bleeding guilt. And that's the point. Manipulators don't want understanding. They want control. They play on your fear of abandonment, your sense of duty, your need to be seen as good. They make you question your memory, your feelings, even your reality. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're emotionally trapped. Well, why manipulation works on you? Let's pause for a hard truth. Manipulation only works if it finds a crack in your armor. And for most people, that crack is self-doubt. If you were raised to be hyper-aware of others' emotions, if you learned that love is conditional, if you feared disappointing people as a child, then emotional manipulation won't feel like abuse. It'll feel like home. That's the trap. We confuse familiar with safe. And we internalize the lie that protecting others from disappointment is more important than protecting ourselves from harm. Here are 4 common tactics manipulators use and how they trap you. 1. Guilt tripping. They make you feel responsible for their pain. You cancel your boundaries just to make them feel better. 2. Gaslighting. They distort your memory, question your emotions, and flip the blame. Suddenly you're apologizing for being hurt. 3. Silent treatment. Not just withdrawal by punishment. They remove connection to control behavior. 4. Love bombing. Over-the-top affection and validation until you resist. Then it disappears. Now you're chasing the high. Recognizing these is step 1. But recognizing isn't enough. You need to deprogram the part of you that still feels responsible for their emotions. Now here are the mental traps that keep you vulnerable. There are 3 mental traps that manipulators rely on. Break these, and they lose their grip. 1. The good person complex. You believe that setting boundaries makes you selfish. So you over-explain, over-apologize, over-give. Truth. You don't need to be a martyr to be kind. A good person with no boundaries is just an emotional sponge for everyone else's mess. 2. The fixer trap. You think if you just love them enough, they'll change. You confuse love with sacrifice. Truth. You can't fix someone who benefits from staying broken. 3. The fear of abandonment. You fear saying no will make people leave. Truth. If someone leaves because you said no, they were never with you to begin with. So let's go for solution. And it starts with how to build a mental shield. How do you defend yourself? Not with more armor. With clarity. Because the opposite of manipulation is not aggression. It's self-awareness. Here's how to build your emotional shield. 1. Learn to pause when emotions rise. Manipulators want you to react. That's their playground. But when you pause, you regain power. 2. Ask yourself, whose emotion is this? Is it yours, or is it being transferred onto you? Most manipulators offload guilt and shame. Don't pick it up. 3. Set boundaries without explaining. You don't need to explain why you're uncomfortable. You don't need a perfect reason to say no. Silence is not an invitation to negotiate. 4. Call out the behavior, not the emotion. Don't argue over feelings, name the pattern. Say things like, that sounds like guilt tripping. I don't respond to emotional blackmail. This feels manipulative, and I'm stepping back. Short. Direct. Neutral. 5. Detach from the outcome. You are not responsible for their reaction. Only your truth. If they escalate when you set boundaries, they were never safe. What? When the manipulator is you. Here's the uncomfortable part. We all manipulate sometimes, not out of malice, but fear. When we guilt others because we don't know how to ask. When we shame them because we don't want to be seen. When we withhold love to feel in control. Growth means catching yourself in the act and choosing truth over control. This isn't about becoming invincible. It's about becoming conscious. In a world full of manipulation, the real rebellion is emotional clarity. Not reacting. Not absorbing. Not explaining yourself into exhaustion. But standing in your truth calm, clear, and unshakable. The people who deserve your energy won't need to control it. The ones who try to control it don't deserve access to it. This channel is about understanding yourself, layer by layer. If this spoke to something inside you, you're not alone. Subscribe for more insights on the mind, purpose, and healing. And remember, you are not here to be controlled. You are here to be conscious.